Continuing our discussion on the center configuration tabs, let's move on to the customization tab. This one's got a lot of parts to it that we need to discuss. First and foremost, you'll see that you have a logo for documents and certificates. Now, for each certificate that's specific to a course that you create, you can put different logos on it. However, your organization should have a default logo that will be applied to any certificates that you generate, as well as the homepage that your students see or staff see when they log into the system. Whatever logo you upload here is going to become that default logo. So to do so, you simply click the upload button, find yourself a logo that you're happy with, and once you complete that process, it will be uploaded. Now you'll notice that momentarily this save button came to life. I've programmed it to automatically save that, but you might see that flicker while it's pending the upload and pending the save. So the next part is the license statement for your certificates. So generally a certificate is going to have your logos, your company name, and then somewhere on the certificate, folks generally like to include a statement that indicates that they're a licensed training center. So however you want that to read. So that might be something as simple as, training center license number, XYZ 123 or whatever license numbers you want to include there. So whatever you place here is going to feed into the placeholder on all of the certificates, which you'll learn about in another segment. This one's very important. So this one is going to be your default administrative email address for your company. So any and all emails that this system sends out, whether that may be reminder notices of an expiring license or training that is due for a refresher or renewal, invitations for courses, confirmation, messages that are sent when a new student registers, when a student adds himself to a class, if you added them to a class, if they cancel a class, any of those automated communications are going to come from whatever email address you specify here. So I'll just put in a junk email address just for an example. Now moving on, you have several default messages that we can complete here. One of the things that happens when a new student registers to use the system is they're going to get a confirmation email reminding them of their username and password and how to access the training center. So this is simply a welcome message, whatever you want that message to be. So, welcome to the, whatever the name of your training center is, and any other information you want to put in here. Some people like to include firearm policies. So this might be, make sure that if you're bringing any weapons into our facility, that they come in a locked box, that they're fully unloaded. If you have an on-site range, and you restrict the types of ammunition that can be used on the range, or maybe you require that they use your ammunition, any of your policies and procedures that you want students to be aware of right out the gate, this is a good place to put that sort of information, as well as any parking information if you're in a location where maybe parking has to be paid for, instructions on how to go about that, anything and everything that a person coming to your facility for the first time should be made aware of. This is an HTML field, so you can include graphics, maps, anything of that nature that you want to include in here. You can use these standard features to do so, including adding hyperlinks and the like, and full control over the fonts and the appearance of how that's going to come across to your new users. So a lot of customization available to you here. When you're happy with the message content and format, simply click save. It'll commit that to the field, and then you can move on to your next message. So this one was specific to students. Now you may want to have a different sort of welcome message to staff. So you bring on a new employee that's going to have staff level credentials to this system. When you create them a user account, they're going to get an automated email as well. And perhaps you have certain policies and procedures about using this system or other aspects of your business that you want to make sure folks are made aware of. So that could include privacy policies with the data. You may have restrictions on accessing this system after hours, any of these sorts of things. So any messages that you want to send to your staff members when they register for the system. Similarly to the field above, it's fully HTML compliant, so you can include hyperlinks, images, and have full control over the font's text size and the general appearance. Once you're complete with or satisfied with what you've put in here, you can click save. It'll save the content. This one down here is an expiring permit or expiring training message. So the system is going to send out reminder notices if you choose to use that feature, which we'll cover in depth later. And most of them already have a very license specific message. But if you were to ask me to create additional automated reminder notices, then this is where you could put in content that you would want the narrative of those emails to include. That wraps up the section on customization. For the next section, we'll talk about online payment options.